Hello, Tal. Good to see you. It's hard for me to see comments right now only because I'm a little late. I didn't get everything set up quite yet. I gotta get my laptop going here too. But how exciting is this? We got our Wargames Foundry Lion Rampant figures from Blue Table Painting. Now, I will be the first to admit, I'm actually not entirely sure if this is all of them or not. So that's going to be one of the things we have to find, is if this is all of the figures or if this is just a part of them. The reason being, um, Sean at Blue Table did mention that he and the artist who painted these finished about 330 of the 490, leaving what is that, about 160 left. But then there were a couple weeks of no updates, and then these boxes arrived. So I don't know if during that time the other 160 figures got finished or if we're still waiting on those. So that's one of the things we'll be taking a peek at, is if these boxes are full of 490 figures or if there's just 330 figures here. So we will find that out in a little bit. I want to set my laptop up as well so that we can look at comments while we're unboxing this, because we're gonna stay live until we've unboxed all of these figures. So it may be a bit. Okay, I have to set up this big long table. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, really? very interesting. Okay, here we go. This will be a little bit better, I believe. However, what I want to do is obviously I want this a little bit further down because I want to be able to hold up the figures as we unbox them. So maybe something like this. Let's see how this works. Okay. Oh my gosh. We have so many figures. So many figures. Wargames Foundry 28 mil metals. Oh, I even want this lower, I think. I even want this a touch lower because I want to. Oh, God, not that low. Jesus Christ. All right, let's hold off on that just a bit. Yep, you're right, Hal. We are going to be making adjustments here. All right, I think we're good. I just want to be able to see through the camera lens what we've got. Oh my gosh, this is going to be exciting. We have all these boxes. Oh, I need my cheat sheet of what each figure unit is. Yes. Okay. All right, I think we got it now. Here we go. Because we have this sheet. Okay. You know, I wonder if I can do this while I've already started recording. Yes, I can. Which is turn off my phone volume just in case it starts ringing or going crazy. So really, you don't need to probably see the boxes. I really want you to see everything that comes out of the boxes. So I'm going to move this. Well, but I also don't want it to be too far away. All right, so maybe this is a happy compromise. We have the cheat sheet of what every unit is, and what they did, I can show you already because I already took a peek at a couple of these. So for example, this individual, look at this, Knight. Specifically, I'm not sure how that's going to show up, but it actually shows up pretty good. This is A3. You can see what they did was they kept my unit code, my unit profile for all the figures. So this is A3, which means that is the third unit of elite cavalry. So perfect, we can keep these units together. But I did open up just this pack of 4, which you will notice we did have some casualties, which is to be expected. 100% to be expected, and even a higher percentage in ease of repairability. But here is the other guy, also part of Unit A3, so he is Elite Cav. And we will be keeping these together on the table, sliding them together so that we can make sure to keep their unit coherency going. All right, next It's another Elite Cab, and this is A4. So this is the color scheme they went with on this. So a little backstory here on these 490 figures. If you're familiar with Lion Rampant, second edition specifically, this guy got cleaved in half. But I really like the color scheme on this knight. Very cool. And he is part of A1. So that is part of A1. But in Lion Rampant second edition, there are 11 types of units. Everything from levy infantry all the way to elite cavalry. And I had enough figures painted so that I could have 4 units of each unit type. What did we say he was? He was A1. Just gonna keep all the elite cavalry over there together. Warrior infantry, light infantry, foot standard, skirmishers, crossbowmen. Yeah, levied infantry. All right, so here we go. That was the only figures that I've actually unboxed so far. So next up, we have these fine folks. Let me again adjust, because really doesn't matter what the box looks like, it's what we have outside of the box. All right, we have this individual who looks very, very cool. Look at that. And folks, you obviously cannot tell through the power of digital recording, but the metal of these figures is really cool. Very impressive. All right, A1. We have another A1. And I actually really like the look of that guy. So A1, we do have, I believe this is another A1. However, he's lost his lance. I love the red and blue scheme they went with for this unit of A1. He lost his lance and his shield, which again will be no problem to reglue. That's going to be par for the course on these guys. I know the camera doesn't pick up a lot of detail, but because for some reason, when I do these lives, the quality is always really poor, but there we go. So that's another A1. Oh my goodness, if I would have been thinking, I would have had a receptacle for all of this trash. Let me actually grab one of those. Okay. We are Gucci now. We are cooking with gas now, folks. All right. What do we have next? I want to try to be so careful when I open these. All right, here we go. These look like they're probably casualty markers. I can't remember exactly how many of those we commissioned, but oh yes, these are so good. Oh my gosh. These actually do have a code. I wonder what code I gave them, because this says A2, and this is definitely not A2. What did I give casualties? Oh, miscellaneous. I don't know if I gave them a code, actually. They may just have been miscellaneous, but probably due to the size of this guy's pose, he needed this larger base, potentially. All right, so there is casualty number 1. These casualties are so cool. Oh my gosh. Casualty number 2 with his helmet laying next to him. And casualty number 3. I love the base work that they did on these guys. All right, so then we also have, we went from one extreme to the other. We went from elite cavalry to casualties, which in my numbering system are like the complete opposite. All right, next up. Oh, I see Fart the Jester, I believe, which was just a funny personality figure that I figure could be used for, you know, objective purposes, scenario purposes. But there's a couple other guys in here as well. But look at this guy. Yes. That is so funny. Oh my gosh. That is Fart the Jester. And I know the camera quality is not probably picking that up the best. But he has a little puppet he's looking at in his jester attire. So that is Fart the Jester. Fart with a PH, mind you. These guys are D3, so they're both from the same unit. Look at this. Look at those two. I love the work they did on the shields. All right, so D3 is what that is, which means, according to our cheat sheet here, they must be elite infantry. So these are elite infantry, as you can probably tell by how heavily armored they are. D3. And once we get more figures, we'll be sliding them all over the place because we already have 3 units of elite cavalry. We have 1 elite infantry so far. Here are more casualties. These were some that I was really excited for, because even though they are casualties, they are still standing up, like one's helping the other. So again, these kind of casualty figures are going to be fantastic for objectives and other things, as well as just showing that the unit itself is battered, which is kind of the main reason that I wanted them. Okay, moving right along. Looks like we have some peasants here, which is always exciting. So this would be levied infantry, and these, what is the code on these guys? H. Yep, H1. So these are both from the same unit. Levied infantry. So they are the peasants. And they look fantastic. There's going to be a lot of peasants. 12 figures per peasant unit times 4 is 48 peasants. We could have an entire village of just peasants. Probably should grab some scissors or something at some point as well, because these are wrapped pretty darn well. The scale HAL is 28 mil. These are Wargames Foundry 28 mil figures. Yes. Oh my gosh. Look at these guys. How cool is this? This guy I could honestly make my commander, honestly. D3. We have D3. Which makes me actually wonder if these are actually D3, because didn't these say D3? And these are a different scheme than them. So I'll have to double check that, and that's no big deal. I can always put them where they need to be, but how cool is that? Plus, I love the gold on this guy's helmet. That is fantastic. He just looks so cool by himself, but that's more elite infantry. And that makes me wonder if these guys were actually elite infantry or if those were something else. Only because I was like, really? They almost look like what I would have as warrior infantry, which were more of the kind of barbarian Viking warrior kind of situation. But they're looking good either way. And now we have some archers. Yes. Okay, give me a sec. I need to get scissors. I was just so unprepared, evidently. My God. Okay. Can you believe it? This whole table's going to be full of figures by the time this is over. Okay. Next up. And again, I don't know how many figures we're actually looking at here. It could be 330, or it could be 490. Time will tell. All right, we are diving into the archers now. These guys are HIJ. Are these I3? Fantastic. I wanted to kind of separate these out. Those are A's. These were D's, which makes sense for those. Those and these and these. We'll have to figure out what those actually are. Because I can almost guarantee you that they're not. Well, actually, we could actually just look at this sheet. Not that we're going to spend a whole lot of time doing that. Because, yeah, as you can tell from the actual cheat sheet of D's, D1 through 4 should all be elite infantry. And they're all like dismounted knights. So they are all very regal in appearance. Whereas these folks, as cool as they are, that's definitely more along the lines of, I would say, warrior infantry. And so those should be G's, the barbarian kind of guys, and you can see them with their axes and their hand shields and all that kind of stuff. Okay, who do we got next? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is just a pile of casualties. So we looked at the big chonker casualties, and now it is the single-based casualties. Holy smokes. I wish I had a 2-camera setup, so one camera could be just on the figures that we've already unboxed already. And then the other camera could be on what I'd like to show you up close. Look at these guys. Oh my gosh. These casualty markers are so freaking cool. Look at how the poses of these guys. Again, these are all Wargames Foundry figures. Look at this guy sitting up holding his head. So all the casualty markers, they're not all just dead. They are in various states of potential deceased. And it's so funny to see Fart the Jester, like, surrounded by all of these dead and dying knights. Okay, enough with the jokes. Oh my gosh, these are some more biggins. These are some more big ol' knights. These are certainly the ones more prone to transportation damage. Come on. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Nothing seems to be shifting around too much in here. Oh, yeah. Plus, these came with those, I don't know what you call it, some kind of super strong, like, steel rod or something for their lances. Look at that guy. Oh my gosh. That is fantastic. This is A4. What was this guy? He's also A4. All right, evidently they're part of the same situation there. No, this guy's A3. And even whatever they're marked as, who knows if I'll actually keep them like that. But look at this guy. Oh my gosh, this is elite cavalry, folks. Talk about elite cav. This is A3, which I don't think we've seen yet. No, I guess that would be them. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening there. All we know is that they're the letter A for sure. Oh my gosh. How crazy is this? More elite cav. I cannot wait to get these guys on the battlefield. Now, that is definitely an A3 because he has some accents on him that make it look like that. I know how that's exactly what I was thinking when I took them out of here because my gosh, look at the point on those things, and that is like serious. Holy smokes. But I love the detailing around the the harness. What is this guy? He's also an A4. Yeah, that makes sense actually. What was this guy? He was A3. Does he have any purple on him at all? I didn't see any. But these guys are A4s. And does he have any red or yellow on him? No. So we have some with the color scheme and some without the color scheme. Look at that. How cool is that? Oh my gosh, their units are starting to form. For Elite Cav, they're in sixes, groups of six. Okay, next. Oh my gosh, we have more of the pointy lances. Ah. But we also have some softer lances, which I do see some concerns. We have a bendage and a couple breakages. All right, so we have another, what is this, A1. Look at that guy. I have to say, I love the color scheme of the A's, but the A's also, I want to bend this back really carefully. The A's also had the softer lances, and so we'll have to glue that arm back on. How was he holding this? Was it upright? Yes, it was something like that, like this. Very cool. I do like the red and blue color scheme of the A1s. Now, here's a couple more A1s, and we will have to fix their lances, but at least they stayed holding on to them. I mean, how else do you, when you're shipping hundreds and hundreds of these metal figures, you're bound to get a bent lance or two, I suppose. So, again, I'll really deal with it later, but just to get it kind of straightened out now. Something like that. Very cool. And that's all of the A1s. That unit over there, how does this go? Like this? Yeah. So you can kind of see maybe over there more. We have all the A1s there. Here's another A3. They lost their lance. But as you can see, and I'm going to move this back now. Did I tighten that down? Yeah, I did. Um, the figure and the base look fantastic, and then this is just his lance, and it'll just glue back into his hand there. Love it. That is number 5 of the A3s. We haven't seen any A2s yet. And I see some more very pointy lances in here, so let's grab these. Oh my goodness. All right, what do we got? We have, looks like one lance casualty out of this batch. Here's another A4. Here is another A3. I just want to bend back. God, you know the pressure was high when even one of these like steel lances got bent. But look at that guy. Oh my gosh. This is an A3. And what were these guys? Were these A3s? Yeah. So that was it. That is the sixth and final A3. And then we have these A4s, two more of those. And this individual is also an A4. All right, we have completed, and here's his lance. We have completed unboxing 3 of the 4 Elite Cav units, which is incredibly exciting. I want to say I've seen all these in their studio updates. All right, who do we have next? It looks like Crossbowman. I just love that I'm getting more ranged figures for any kind of army, really. Any kind of game. If you've ever watched any of my other videos on figures, I've always complained that I just don't have the range. Yes, look at these crossbowmen. Yes. Absolutely love those. These are J1. And is this what all of them are? They all look the same, so I'm going to assume so. This is 7 of the 12 J1s. J1 crossbows. Yes. We're going to have to start actually moving these. Now that we have some complete units, let's start actually moving these away. What is this? Does it go like this? All right. Like, look at what we've got so far. Okay. So we have the A1s. We have to repair, it looks like 3 of the A1s. These are the A1 Elite Cavalry, done in this fantastic red and black color scheme. Red and blue color scheme, rather. Which I am actually very partial to, because that is the color scheme, believe it or not, of my very first figure that I ever painted myself. Can you believe that? I actually did paint a figure so many years ago, like 20 some years ago when I was a child. And it was actually red and blue. And it was a high elf. Believe that, red and blue high elves. As you can clearly tell, I had no clue what I was doing. All right. And these were the ones I was most concerned with, you know, the lances or the riders breaking off during transport. And out of 18 figures, it looks like only 4 had actual problems. Maybe 5, because I think one of these is loose. Yeah, that guy's loose as well. I should probably take him off to remind myself that he's loose. So that's not too bad, realistically. All right, and then what do we have? So then these are the A's. I guess we'll go B, C, D. So D's will be down here. And what are these? These are D3s, supposedly. Now these, we determined, are not actually D's. These were something else. I think we said these were G's. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So they should go about right here. H, I. So archers will go up there. J, crossbows will go down here. Levy was what? H. So what is that? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Really? H, I, J, K, L, M? All right, so I guess actually Levy should go down here. And then miscellaneous and casualties should go way, way over here. The graveyard. Okay. There we go. Now we're starting to get things where they need to be. Okay, here we go. Next. Oh my gosh. We have one guy wrapped all by their lonesome here. So let's see who this turns out to be. Yes, when I saw this color scheme, when they were showing off some of the completed figures in their videos, I was like, heck yeah, I love that white and tan. It actually looks so good. And this is M3. So what is that? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. M? Why is M not ringing an actual bell to me? Oh, special characters. So yeah, he's like a captain or a leader of some kind. Well, that's very cool. So he actually should also go into the miscellaneous zone. That may have been why he was kind of by himself there. And now I think we've got some skirmishers on the horizon. Wow. Skirmishers and some other folks, it looks like. And more peasants. Actually, I think these may all be peasants. Look at these peasants. Oh my gosh, with his little bill. But I like this guy. This guy looks like that grandfather, that father from Braveheart, kind of. If you know, you know. But also, some of them have these slings. These stick slings, whatever those are called. And of course, others have their pitchforks. Just classic peasants, levy infantry. What were these? These were H1. These all seem to say H1. Is it possible they are all truly H1? It is funny because what is that, like 10%? If I have 490 figures, what is 48? Yeah, that's just about 10%. So 10% of the figures that we are going to be unboxing here are going to be levy infantry, and they are terrible in the game. They're armor 1, which means anything that hits kills a guy. Which is absolutely hilarious. This may be my favorite peasant of all. When I saw her in their studio update video, I was like, yes, she, and I am assuming it's a she, but honestly, I can't, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is because she's got kind of her apron or whatever tied up in the back like that. And she looks to have some chest, a little bit of a chest. But I was like, she just looks like a bat. She just looks like a boss with her scythe. So yeah, she's definitely the leader of this company of levy infantry. Okay. Now I think we're getting into something a little bit that has a little bit more staying power. We'll just say that. A little bit more staying power. These guys just remind me so much of, there's some figures in, there's a dwarf figure in Mage Knight, especially like that one kind of reminds me of. But I love these war hammers and war axes. And these are E. A, B, C, D, E. So these are going to go way up top. And I want to say E's are heavy infantry. Yep. So that makes sense, right? These definitely have the heavy infantry vibe about them. So that is very cool. Absolutely loving that. You have to understand also just how impressive this is from my perspective, because for years I've always been drawn to Lion Rampant, and I also just wanted more medieval figures of my own, and I can't paint worth a darn, and I especially can't paint 500 figures in the time that would be satisfactory to me. So the fact that we went from having nothing to having these figures done in just a couple months. These went from being in plastic baggies, unpainted metal, for a little over a year actually, because I'm pretty sure I got these, and these are elite infantry, by the way. D1. These are like little, like lowercase d. But look at this guy. I love his gold ornament on the top. These are elite infantry. These are D1. These elites look so good. Oh my gosh. But sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was saying that these went, because I bought these figures in a Wargames Foundry Christmas sale in the Christmas season of 2023, and then they sat in a box for over a year before I finally said, let's get these painted, and blue table painting was the solution to that. These are I3. These are more archers. Yes. Look at this plump little archer. Oh my gosh. I know that my live camera quality sucks, but hopefully you can see that face has some meat on those bones. That's a plump little archer. I love when the figures have character, because then that immediately makes me drawn to them. Now I'm going to hope that they survive. Maybe I'm going to put a little more oomph when I roll the dice for them, you know. But also, obviously, I'm going to be using these in everything. Not just Lion Rampant, but all kinds of crazy games. All right. These archers, yeah, they need to go way up top. We'll just put them there for now. Oh my gosh, we've barely even cracked the surface of these guys. Holy smokes, there's so many figures. Here, what appear to be even more heavy infantry. But yeah, for these to have gone from bare metal sitting in a box to finally actually being able to be used is absolutely fantastic. Yep, these are more heavy infantry. More heavy infantry. These are E2. Heavy infantry. Are those 12 figures? Yeah. Heavy infantry is also units of 12 figures. That is very cool. Most foot units are units of 12. But some, like elite infantry, are units of 6, like cavalry units are. All right, we got some more interesting individuals here. Who do we got next? Gotta be careful here. Don't just rip them out of here. Yeah, this guy looks like another elite infantry, I want to say. Yeah, he's D4. Well, this guy's D4. And so is this, I assume, because it's the same kind of color scheme. Yeah, look at that. How cool is that? And he even has a little wear on his shield, like he used the point of the shield to bash in someone's head, but he's holding his axe. That is so cool. Oh my gosh. That's like Christmas. Okay, and here it looks like are the other 4 figures in his unit, in their unit. The cool thing about the elite infantry is that any one of these knights on foot could be like your commander, because they all look that cool. Like, look at this guy. This guy absolutely stands out and could 1000% be your war band leader, your retinue leader. As could he. He has like the bust of some woman on the very tip top of his helmet. My God, imagine that. That's like insane. But that's the other 6. So that is actually our first unit of elite infantry completed. Oh my goodness. And I'm already just looking at this like, gosh, where am I going to store all of these? And looks like we have some what I would assume are light infantry now. Because I do recognize these guys as well. In a classic red and yellow color scheme. Fantastic. These are F, A, B, C, D, E, F. And F is exactly right. Yeah, we were already on the light infantry page, so that's exactly what these are. These are F, light infantry. A, B, C, D, E, F. So actually, these guys should be above these guys. There'll be 12 of them as well. My gosh. Just absolute insanity. I believe in here are some more peasants, also known as levy infantry. Yep, that's H. So this is H4. This is a different unit of peasants. Look at this. Some of these poor peasants, like hunched over or grasping onto their bill to save their lives, essentially. Okay. So H4, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So yeah. So actually, these guys need to move. But for now, I guess they can stay. Should be another 6 of those in there somewhere also. All right. God, there's so many figures in this box. How many have we even unboxed so far? Because that's 18, 22, 24, 30, and each of these are 12. So 42, 54, 60, 66, 67, 68, 70, 77, 83, 84, 86, 88, 90, 92, 94, 96, 98. So we've unboxed about 100. Almost 100 figures. Which means we have unboxed only about 20% of the figures, which is so funny to me. Yes, who is this? Look at this peasant, but look at him. He's drumming. He's drumming and playing some other kind of little instrument as well. Oh my gosh. He may rise out of the ranks of being a peasant, to be honest, because I would love to have him in some other situation. Now, these were H4 and these were H1. So some of these are actually H3. Actually, all of these were H3 and those are H4. So these are actually a different unit of peasants entirely. They come from a different village. Look at that guy. Oh my gosh. He's got quite the character as well. And there will be 4 more of those somewhere. And my little trash bag, my little receptacle for trash is already completely full, basically. Okay, who is this? This is E4. What was E? Is that heavy infantry again? Yep, that's heavy infantry. He was all by himself. I thought maybe he was a commander of some kind, but nope. He is just an individual with a mace like around his neck. All right, so we said he was E. Well, he's not in that group, but he is a heavy infantry like them. So we'll leave him there for now. Wow, here we go. So here's a different type of cavalry. Let's see what we've got here now. Looks like we have some, maybe a mix, because I see some, no. This is B4. Okay, we got to be very careful here because this really bent. Yeah, look at him. Look at that guy. Oh my gosh, how cool is this? So the Bs are heavy cavalry. So we've seen all those elite cav, and now we have heavy cavalry. And I assume that's what all of these are. No, this is a different unit. This is still heavy cav, but this is a different unit of heavy cav. And this is also along the same lines. Heavy cav, but in the B4 region. So these guys are together. And so is he. And look, I love it when they had a little bit of fun, like with the horse. Like, look, they gave this horse white spots. Love that. So these 3 are together. And this guy got packaged in with them, but he is a different unit of heavy cav. Okay, one thing I did not have them do with this commission was do banners. I'm going to do my own banners, believe it or not. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to try the foil trick, the aluminum foil trick, where you stick a little square of aluminum foil in the paper banner so that you can bend it and shape it the way you want it to wave before gluing it solid. All right, who do we have here? F4 and more peasants. F was light infantry? Yep. So we have more light infantry. That's F4, which is that who this is? Yep. So we found the rest of those guys potentially, but we also have more peasants. Oh, that's H3. Is that who this is? Yep. That's also F4. So those guys go up there. Spathope. If I'm pronouncing that correctly. How do they smell? They smell like paint. They smell like medieval pastures, actually. All right, that's F4, and we have a slinger. This is H3. And look at him. Now you can imagine how he probably smells, right? Very ripe from the medieval fields. But the rest of these are H4, and he's H3. H3 was this, right? Yep. And F4 means he goes up there. Couple more H3, H4. Some of these faces look absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you can actually see that expression with how low resolution my live quality is, but it is pretty funny. These are all H3s and 4s. Another H4 and another H4. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're finally seeing the bottom of box number 1, which leads me to believe they'll be moving on to box number 2 here shortly. Okay, this looks like more cavalry, and of what variety? We do have a couple casualties here for their hand weapons. This is B4. Is that who these guys were? Yep. Couple more of those. This guy's a B3, which is what I believe this guy was. So we're starting to piece this guy's unit together. He had kind of almost like a throwing spear. And this guy is B4. So it's interesting how they were wrapped up, not entirely in the same units, but at least sometimes the same type of figure. Okay. Next, we have what appears to be the rest of that light infantry unit that we saw. And something else, because this is clearly not just light infantry, but a lot of this is. So, and the rest of this is H4, H3 again. So H4, was that this? Yep, so we finished off another one of those and another one of those. All right, 3 units of peasants have all been finished off now. And 1 unit of light infantry. This definitely looks like some more heavy infantry. All right, what do we have here? Very cool. These are E's, which is, I believe, what these are. Yeah. We have some more heavy infantry. All right, we need to get these re-separated again. Okay, so here's how we're going to do that. First off, let us put these archers where they belong, which is way up here. And then heavies were E, so A, B, C, D, E. So these all belong up here. And then the next group of heavies is also going to go up here. Which means we can fill in the gap left by those heavies with the rest of these peasants. Perfect. All right, how are we doing on charge? Oops. Okay, but I kind of want to stick my charger on here, but maybe we'll hold off for now. Okay, next. All right. We've got, I think these are probably all the same unit of heavy infantry. These are all E4, probably. Some of these guys just look so freaking cool. Like, I love this guy that has like a spike at the end of his club. All right, so we have 2 up there. We have nine of these guys so far. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay. Oh boy. What else do we got in this box number 1? Still have a lot more stuff in just box number 1 alone. Almost wanted to say slingers, but I think those may still be levied infantry. All right, but we have a lot more cavalry also. These are B4, B3. Ouch. That guy's spear. Look at that guy. B4. So what are these? These are B3. These are B4. So he is a B3 and he is a B4. So that should be all of those, but why are there more? Oh wait, that's all the B4s, but here's 2 more B3s. Yeah, that's right. I love the look of some of these guys. Oh my gosh. Like, look at this guy. Very cool. I can just totally see using him in other games also, besides Lion Rampant. Okay, got a couple more here. Who are these? We've got, looks like potentially the rest of that E4 unit. Look at that guy. That could definitely be your unit commander right there. Okay. Well, that finished off a lot of those units. So who in the world could we possibly have next other than to start off some more units? And this is H2. So what was this? H1, H3, H4, and H2. This will be our first completed unit type, assuming we have all 12 of these guys, because that is 4 units of 12 peasants. We have 48 peasants here. Yeah, these are all H2s. I just love these bases. Done. Unit. All 4 units of peasants have now been unboxed. We should never see another peasant. So now we should be getting into more fun stuff. Not that peasants aren't fun, but you know. Figures, unit types that have a little more staying power than Armor 1. All right, who do we have now? Yeah, I love these guys. Love these guys. Look at the colors on their shields. Fantastic. These are E1. So again, these are heavy infantry, really? Yeah, but I don't know. Where's my heavy infantry checklist? Yeah, I guess they are. They are heavy infantry. They just looked a little bit more like warrior infantry to me, but they're definitely heavy infantry. So E1, this is going to be the next batch of those guys. Okay, next. Looks like potentially the rest of those heavy infantry. Wow. Gosh, I can't say enough about the color scheme of these figures. Oh my gosh, how cool is that? I wonder if they base that on something historical. If any of you recognize that kind of brown, green, blue kind of scheme, let me know what that's from. But that will complete that unit of heavy infantry. And with that, looks like the entire first box. Oh my goodness. Which does kind of lead me to believe then that we still have more to come. Okay. Can confirm that was the entirety of box 1. Now let's move on to box 2. And if box 1 was any indicator, oh god. So what do we have so far? Because we have 18 and 12 is 30. Another 12 is 42, 54, 66, 78, 80, 92, 140, 148, 140, 148, and 7, 155, 156. So yeah, I almost feel like we'll probably have about the same, if not a little bit more in this box, which then does lead me to believe that we'll actually be awaiting another shipment potentially down the line. Okay. All right, how many is this? Is this whole unit? Look at these guys. These are F2, so this is more light infantry. But I also do love this color scheme as well. This yellow and green kind of reminds me of Suikoden. The Gregminster soldiers were all yellow and green as well. Anytime I see a bent spear that's bent so badly that it looks like a bow, I'm like, wait, how did he get in here? Oh, wait, that's just a bent spear. Okay. Well, that was a handy find to see that whole unit was just right there, ready to go, wrapped up. All right, man, there's a lot of figures in this other box. Good grief. Next up, we have what appears to be more heavy cavalry. And it looks like that is the case. Were these were these weapons separate? Because he's like holding his axe upside down. I don't know. These are B2. Yep, all three of these are B2. Love their generic kind of cavalry look. That looks fantastic. All right, over to the side they go. Should be another group of 3 in here as well. But before then, evidently, we have something else. More light infantry, perhaps? Or skirmishers. Okay, yeah, these are definitely skirmishers. These are Ks, K3. Oh my gosh, how cool are these javelin throwers? Oh my gosh, that is fantastic. All right, Ks. Ks doing their own thing. And you have got to watch out for those javelins. Those are lethal. That guy looks fantastic. Oh my gosh. Very, very good stuff. Yes, I love this color scheme. From the moment they showed the video on these guys, this off-white and blue scheme, which makes me think these are also, yes, light infantry. The light infantry just have so much character to them. You can definitely tell those apart. And it looks like this is the full grouping of 12 of these guys as well. Excellent. Okay. Next, man, this box was completely full. Oh my goodness, do we have more elite infantry here? I think we just may. Look at these guys. Oh, heck yeah. These are so cool. These are D3s. Yep. Just look at that. Oh my gosh. Any one of those guys could be your army commander, realistically. Who knows? I may even put decals on those shields, too. I don't know. We'll see. Then the other side of this looks like it's the whole other type of elite infantry. Yeah, those guys are so cool. Move those over. So we still need 2 more of that first group. Look at the gold detailing on that guy. If he doesn't stand out to an archer, I don't know who would. Okay, so we now have almost all of the elite infantry done. We only have 2 more to go. And then here, this is the horse that I have been so excited to see. When I first cracked this box open for a preliminary look, I was like, oh my gosh, how cool is this? What is this? This is B1. Is that what those guys were? No, those were B2. So this is another unit of heavy cav. But look at this. I love that all the horses weren't just dark. I like that they did some light horses also. B1, C3. Okay. This is B2, which is that unit. All right. And then we actually have the first of our light ranged cav, that crossbow wielding cav. That's C3. That guy looks so cool. All right. So these two were B1. This was B2. These are B4. Those are B3. All right. Now we got it. Okay, next. Okay, these are probably more C3s. Yep. These are more mounted crossbowmen. In the game, also known as, and look at this guy with the cloak. Oh my gosh. How cool is that? Those would be, yeah, just straight up light cavalry is what they're labeled as. I think those are also in groups of 6. These are, oh, there's another C3. So that'll finish off that unit. And that will mostly, almost complete that unit of heavy cav. God, do you even see this table? Like, look at all these figures. And this is like maybe half of the figures so far. Okay. All right, this is the last of this guy. God, that sword took an absolute beating. So that is the last of, and the horse did too, kind of. Careful. That is the last of that heavy cav unit. Now, who is this? B2C3. I thought we already finished off C3. Was one of you an imposter? Oh, yeah, one of you is an imposter because you're B2. Is that what you are? Yep, you actually belong over here. As do you. And you belong over here. All right. So we also have now completed all the heavy cav. So we almost have all the elite infantry. We have 3 of the 4 units of elite cavalry. We have all 4 units of heavy cavalry. We have 1 unit of light cavalry. We have 3 of the 4 units of light infantry. We have 3 of the 4 units of heavy infantry. We have all 4 units of levy infantry. We've barely touched on the archers, and even less touched on crossbowmen, and barely touched on skirmishers. So we still have a lot to go. Oh, we see some spears peeking out of the bubble wrap. And what is this? This looks like skirmishers. We have more javelineers here. A couple of their javelins need to be reattached, but that is no prob. These guys are looking pretty good. Here is one of the javelineers. It has the same colors as our local game convention Nuke Con, which is that kind of purple and yellow scheme. So let's put them by these other skirmishers. Skirmishers are also kind of funny to me because while they can attack at range, they also still only have armor 1. So they're not long for this world. All right, we have more light cavalry with Unit C4. Oh, yeah. Since Lion Rampant doesn't distinguish between mounted crossbows and mounted archers for the purpose of light cavalry just being mounted range, some of these units I had a mix. So there's like that other unit is completely mounted crossbowman. This unit is obviously going to be a mix of mounted crossbow and mounted archer. I'm sure there's probably a unit that's entirely mounted bow. Oh my gosh, look at all of these. These bubble wrap burritos. All right. Ooh, we have another. Oh, yes. We have the priests. We have the monks. Oh, this is exciting because you can add a character like a monk to your unit, just like you can add some other individuals. And here are the rest. Should be 4 of them. Yep. Of this unit of archers. Oh my gosh. Now I gotta reach all the way up here. But these monks are so cool. And then we have more of these captains. Captain of the guards. That you can add to a unit, or maybe even just make a unit out of them because they all look the same. But these monks are hilarious. Oh my gosh. I love this one with the book. And this one with the club. You know, he'd go to bat for you. All right, what do we think these are? These could be more heavy infantry. We've already seen 3 units of heavy infantry. No, these are E's. What were E's again? Yeah, E's are heavy infantry. So here we go. This guy looks like a casualty. What even does that say? A2? That obviously can't be an A. But yeah, that definitely looks. Oh yeah, because he has an arrow stuck in him. Oh my gosh. Look at this guy. He got hit by an arrow. Oh, that is fantastic. So that is actually another casualty. And the rest of these are E3s, which means these should all be. Wait, who is this? Oh, look how cool this guy looks. Oh my gosh. This is G4. So yeah, that is warrior infantry. Yeah, look at these guys. Oh my gosh, how cool do those look? Warrior infantry. So yeah, this was a mix because we have several of these. We have 6 of these, which were heavy infantry, and then we have 3 of these, which are warrior infantry. I don't know where we're going to put the warrior infantry. I guess we'll put them there because there were a couple more here as well. And then these 6 will start doing their own thing over here, I guess, as part of their own unit. Okay. There's still a lot of stuff left in this box in particular. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, the last update we saw was what? 330 figures. And that may be about what we see here, so that's probably accurate. Yep, I love this scheme too, for whatever reason. How cool is that? I love the kind of bone white with the blue stripes. So I'm assuming that is also warrior infantry. I think again that says D, but obviously that means G. And this looks like the entire unit of these guys. Because there's 6, and here's 6. Wait. Warrior infantry. Yeah, are there 12? Are there really 12 figures to a unit of warrior infantry? Yeah, there are. We just have not seen a lot yet. But this is our first full unit of warrior infantry. Okay. Which are somewhat fragile also, I believe. Not in terms of armor, I don't think, but in terms, well, maybe in terms of armor also, I don't remember. Okay, we have a bunch more archers here. Archers and slingers and other things. Like, who is this? This is K3. He looks really cool with some kind of makeshift rock tied to a stick. What is K3? GHIJK. Archers. Skirmishers. He's a skirmisher? Wow. That's interesting. But we also have our slingers here. Now, these slingers look so good. Look at these slingers. Those slingers look fantastic. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we've got those. And then what is this? These are I2. Oh my gosh. These are probably my favorite archers. Look at those archers. I love that even when they are the same pose, almost, I guess they aren't quite the same sculpt. They have different beards and different other things, but I was going to say, even when they look so similar, they painted them differently, which is great. Okay, I2. These are all I2s? Yeah. Okay, so skirmishers, these slingers are going to go over here by the javelin throwers. And then we also have these 3 archers, which need to go up by those archers, which means these crossbows need to come way down. And then this guy's also a skirmisher, so he doesn't go with them, does he? K3? I guess he does, but that's crazy. I wonder why he looks so different. Yeah, he is. He's one just bizarre individual that's attached to that unit for whatever reason, which is kind of funny. Casualty needs to go up by the casualties. Oh boy. Okay, next. Jiminy Christmas, there's still a lot in here. I'm going to assume that a lot of this is more archers. Okay. And we'll see who we got in here. Oh my gosh, yeah, these are my favorite archers. Oh, and my favorite priest. God, these metal figures are fantastic. But look at this guy holding the cross. Yeah, Brother Sebastian. Love that. But all of these woodland archers, this was the best color scheme they could have possibly painted these guys. These look so good. The greens and browns, these forest archers. So good. So yeah, these will go up here. Oh my gosh. Oops. Okay. Who else are we looking for in this batch? We still are missing 2 elite infantry, 4 light cav out of that unit. Looks like another 6 out of that heavy infantry unit. And then several more out of some of these other units. Oh, and speaking of the 4 other light cavalry, I think this is them right here. So that ought to wrap them up fairly nicely. Look at these guys. Oh my goodness. Light cavalry with crossbows. And that guy has a cool cloak. And again, every so often, they'll do a little extra detailing, like on this horse. They put a few spots on him. Very cool. Oh my gosh, that wraps up this unit of light cav. So now we are moving on. What else do we got in here? What do you call these guys? This looks like more warrior infantry. Oh yeah. Love it. More warrior infantry. Again, they call them D3, but they're obviously G3. And they will go here. Oh my gosh, look at this guy with the horn. That is fantastic. Well, there's obviously no room for these 3, so we're going to have to move them. Okay. Here we go. With these last bundles. And that should wrap box number 2 up. All right, in here, I'm assuming we should see the rest of that unit of warrior infantry, which I believe is what this is, as well as the rest of that crossbow unit as well. And of course, all the while dropping everything. Yeah, these warrior infantry are probably some of my favorite units. Oh my gosh, these guys look so cool. I love that earthy tone color scheme. And that is them. All right, so who are we looking for now? We're still missing 2 out of that elite infantry unit. 6 out of that heavy infantry unit. And 5 out of that crossbow unit. I have to imagine these are probably some of those. No, this is an entirely different unit. Okay. These guys are more light infantry. And this is probably my favorite scheme of the light infantry. Look at these guys. They have like this pale blue, dark blue, and tan. I absolutely adore that color scheme. Okay, and there should be one more of him somewhere. What do we have? This is the last and final package. And then we can tally things up and see what we have and see what we're still waiting on. Yeah, here we go. Here's some of the remnants of those other units. And here's the one other one of this guy. Okay. So, yep, here are the other 6 of this unit, which actually I'm going to put over here. And the other 5 crossbows of this unit. Oh my gosh. So this is what we've seen in the videos, which is what I pretty much figured would be the case. All right, we're going off tripod now. So here we go. Look at this, folks. Oh my gosh. Here is the Lion Rampant stuff so far. This is over 300 figures, 300 some figures, with still like 160 or so to go. So what do we still need? Well, we have 3 of the 4 units of heavy, no, I'm sorry. We have 3 of the 4 units of elite cavalry. We have all 4 units of heavy cavalry. We have 2 of the 4 units of light cavalry. So on the cavalry front, we just need 1 more unit of elite, 2 more units of light, and then for infantry, we have almost, I mean, we're just missing 2 figures out of that unit, so I don't know where those would be, because I think that's the only partial unit we have. We have everyone else, so those 2 just must have a couple stragglers somewhere. But so we have 4 of the 4 elite infantry, barring those other 2 figures. We have all 4 units of heavy infantry. We have all 4 units of light infantry. We have all 4 units of levy infantry. We have we have 3 units of warrior infantry. We have 3 of the 4 units of skirmishers. We have 1 of the 4 units of crossbows, 2 of the 4 units of archers. And what else? There's not a whole lot left when you break it down like that. Actually, a lot of what's left is the extras, all the standards. So we still need all of these standards. We have 12 mounted standards and 8 mounted special characters. And then we still need most of the foot standards and special characters. We did get 3 of the foot special characters, and we got all 6 of the monks, and we got Fart the Jester, but we need the rest of the foot standards and special characters. We also need the leaders. We have not gotten the leaders yet. There should be 2 mounted and 3 foot leaders. And I believe we got all the casualties. So there were 14 casualties, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep, we have all 14 casualties. So we still need the leaders. We still need most of the foot standards and special characters. We still need most of the mounted standards and special characters. We just need 1 more unit of skirmishers. We need 3 units of crossbowmen. We need 2 units of archers. We got all the levied infantry. We just need 1 unit of warrior infantry. We already have all the light infantry. We have almost all the elite infantry, barring 2 singular figures. We have all the heavy infantry. We have 2 of the 4 units of light cav. We have all 4 units of heavy cav, and we have 3 of the 4 units of elite cav. And that'll do it. This was the first of, I don't know how many unboxings we'll have, assuming maybe the other half of the project will just be delivered all at once. But otherwise, I'm really excited to finally get Lion Rampant to the table. That's what all this is for. All right, folks, that'll do it. Thank you so much for joining the live today. I had an absolute blast unboxing all of these fantastic Wargames Foundry 28 mm metal figures painted by Blue Table Painting. Obviously, I'll do a actual video where we get much better detail than the live resolution I can offer you can do. But until next time, folks, thank you so much for watching.